Let me see. I might turn some. You guys can hear me okay, right? Okay, yeah. Perfect. Sweet. Let me turn on a light. All right. All right. Hi, Diana. Hi, Nikki, Marlena, and Sarah, and Christy, Katie, Amy, Lisa, Alicia, and Judy. Awesome. Yeah. All right, hold on. Let's see what we got going on here. I have a new desktop computer, so I'm getting used to it still. I've been on a MacBook for like centuries, and now I'm on a desktop. It's like totally different. Happy Sunday. Who's doing meal prep today? Did anybody prep some food for the week? Nobody? It's snowing like over the whole country, so I don't blame you if you didn't. Sweet. Nikki, what are you making? You don't have to unmute if that's hard.
I'm making a baby blanket for my husband's friend who's having a baby in April.
Ah,
I
nice.
have a long ways to go.
You're so talented. You can make all the things.
Well, thank you.
There's Rebecca. There's everybody. I knew we had more people coming. There's Leah. All right. Sweet. Oh, yeah. All right, guys. So I'm going to have you go ahead and mute if that works. So we'll just have you mute out in the beginning, and then at the end of the Zoom call, we can open it up and chat about this week's topic. So first off, happy Sunday. It's going to be a great week. I just feel like I need to say that to everybody because sometimes we just have to have that intention. This is going to be a good week. And getting ourselves squared away. I know I was just asking, like, how are you set up for the week? The smallest little bits of intention around setting yourself up for the week can make a big difference. Back, I don't know, 3 or 4 months ago, we did a training on self-sabotage, and we talked about like micro actions and how powerful it is to take like little things and just put them where they go so that it like cues you to be successful, like putting your workout clothes like laid out, you know, or putting your shoes by the door, or setting out your lunchbox, even if it's not packed yet, but just like little stuff like that. So even if today, for some reason, it's like I was too overwhelmed, or I just didn't get to it, or I just wanted to play in the snow and I didn't get set up or prepped for the week, just know that you can do some little things and it'll still help quite a bit, just being intentional about setting those little things. And if you didn't get yourself squared away, then get a grocery order done tonight before you go to bed, and that way it'll show up tomorrow. So tonight's topic, I'm really excited about, because we have not talked about this on a Fitme coaching call. And this one has a particularly good action step. I was actually inspired by listening inside Coach Leah's group, talking about if she made the statement that if nothing changes, nothing changes. Have you guys ever heard that? And it made me think about set point. And I wanted to talk about set point for our bodies, like on the sciencey side. But then I also just want to talk about it in general, for our minds too, because nobody ever talks about that. So one of the great things about being human is we are set up for survival. So if you were to go a day without eating, your body would not waste away to nothing. We are built with these sort of like cool capabilities to survive. And if you were to eat, you know, a mountain of food today, you wouldn't put on, you know, a mountain of weight. We actually have mechanisms in our body that help us stay kind of the same. And that is a good thing most of the time, right? So like our bodies sweat and flex and move and get sore and change. All these things happen underneath the surface. But at the end of the day, bodies like to stay the same. And I think, you know, we like to think of that as a bad thing, but I want to first start by saying our set point is a good thing. That's a good thing about being human, right? That we have this ability to homeostasis, right? Kind of stay the same. But the reason that it gets frustrating is because when we're trying to lose weight or when we're trying to get stronger, or even for people who want to put on weight, put on muscle, it's hard. And people will be like, why? I lost 3 or 4 pounds. And then, I had 2 days that like felt, like a little bit off. And then now I'm right back to the same weight. Like, what's wrong with my body? There's actually nothing wrong with your body. Your body's doing the thing that I just talked about. Your body is trying to stay the same so that it's preserving you. So with that being said, you probably have a set point weight right now. Unless you are losing right now, like you've been in a season of weight loss and you're consistently losing, or you're in a season of gaining, or you're like in a transition period, like maybe you're pregnant or you're postpartum or something where your body is going through these changes, we find that bodies stay at a set point. So that, is plus or minus, depends on the person, 3 or 4 pounds up or down, but you're not really actually changing. Your weight is just kind of fluctuating in a range. That's what a set point means. So you get on the scale and one day you're 2 pounds up and the next day you're like back at the same weight. And the next day you get down a pound and then you go up 1.5 pounds and then you're back up. You're not changing weight at all. That's normal fluctuation with like retaining water and all the things and soreness and digestive system and all of that. But your set point is right there in the middle. So the name of the game when you're trying to lose weight is to lose weight by doing something different consistently enough that you break out of the set point, right? Some people like to call it a plateau, but again, I want you to think of it as a positive. Your body is doing something positive by trying to stay the same. But in order to get out of that, you got to be consistent enough to get out of it. And maybe let's say it's weight loss. So say you start to lose weight, you lost 5 pounds, you keep doing the good things, you lost 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now you're at 15, you're at 20 pounds. Well, you have to keep doing what you did and stay there for a little while. Sometimes it's 2 to 3 months so that your body can be like, oh, this is my new set point. And you stay there. And then you don't have to actively work as hard to stay there. You've got a new set point. And that I guarantee you guys know what I'm talking about because it's probably been that way with weight gain for you or weight loss. Maybe you had the season where you're like, oh, I just gained 5 pounds, but you really didn't. You just got back to your old life and then you went back to your old weight, right? Or you had a season where you're like, man, I put on a couple pounds, but you keep doing the things, right? Like a weekend of parties turns into 6 months of parties, or maybe like a weekend of eating out or too much junk food turns into 6 months. And then all of a sudden you're 10 pounds heavier and you're like, how did I get here? I'm not going back to the weight that I was before. You did something consistently enough that you created change, and then you did it consistently enough to stay there. So you made a new set point for your body. And so I tell you this because one, just know that if you're like, man, what is wrong with me? Nothing is wrong with you. In order to break a set point, you have to be very consistent and you have to do something different, which is what Coach Leah was sharing in her group. You can't get out of that like window by doing the same thing you've always been doing. You literally have to change how you eat, how you move. Like if you went from being fairly sedentary and you're stuck in this sort of window, and then all of a sudden you're like, okay, well, I'm going to start walking 2 miles a day. And I used to eat out, 4 times a week, and now I'm only going to eat out once. Well, that's a big change. So you're going to see weight loss. If you stick with that, that weight's going to stay off. Maybe you lose 5 to 10 pounds just from that change alone, and you keep it up, you've got a new set point. That's how it works. And your body's like, okay, got this. Well, then if you've been there for a little bit and you're like cruising and you're like, well, nothing's changing. I'm still not eating out anymore. And I'm like walking, but I've been the same way for like 4 or 5 months now. It's time to make a change. It's time to up the ante a little bit. Maybe it's like add in some strength training. Maybe it's add in some more protein in your food. Your coach can help you figure out what that change is. But in order to break that set point, if you have been at a weight for a couple months in a row now, you're at a set point. So I just wanted to give you guys this information, one, because nobody really talks about it that much. Two, to give it to you in a different light, that your body's not broken. It's a positive thing. The way to get to a new set point is by doing something different consistently. You guys know what I mean, right? Like not changing the plan, but sticking to your adjustment consistently. So, you know, like whether that's walking, whether that's eating more healthy foods, whether that's eliminating junk, reducing alcohol, strength training, all the good stuff that helps you lose weight, but doing it consistently. And then keeping it there to create that new set point. So that's topic A. So topic A is physical set point. How you get out of it, do something differently and keep at it. Use your coach to help you figure out what it is that you need to do. So that is your homework for the week. If you are right now in a physical journey season, so you are trying to physically change, whether that is lose weight, get stronger, you actually don't want to stay where the set point that you are right now, and you want to be going somewhere, I want you to talk to your coach about the things that you are doing differently. So it should be clear in your mind. I used to not be doing this, and now I'm doing this. And if you don't know, then that's the coaching conversation I want you to have this week. What is it that you're applying to your body to cause change? I mean, we can think about this with like a rock even, you know, like if you have this big old rock and the wind blows on it one day and it blows some ocean water on it, it's not changing. But if that ocean water blows on that rock every day, it's going to start to change shape. So I want to know what your ocean water is. What is it that you're doing to change shape? And you should know. And that's again, if you don't, that's okay. That's why it's a topic. That's why we're having this conversation. So you know what it is. So I want to take this one step further, which is a lot of people in Fitme are also working on this mental piece. We get into mental set points too. We get into places where we are super comfortable, and it's been a very long time since we've seen or felt any change. We're just in this rut, this repeat pattern. And again, it doesn't necessarily have to be bad. It just might be autopilot where you are just in this place. If you want to feel change, if you want to either see the world differently, access things in a new way, feel empowered, like have a better relationship with your body, think about food differently, be more present with your kids, whatever this change is that you're trying to do, you also can apply this exact same philosophy. We have defaults. So our habits, you know, our routines are almost like our set point, our like mental set point. So our habits around the way we think about things, that's our default. We go right back there unless we do something different and continue to do it. Unless we throw that ocean water at the rock consistently, then it starts to change shape. And so if you're in a season where maybe the physical change isn't your primary goal right now, you're in a season where maybe you are working on the mental piece, the mindset piece, the positivity piece, whatever it is, it's the same question for you. What is it that you're doing consistently to create this change? And you should, again, if you don't know the answer, well, that's perfect, because that's why it's the topic for this week. So we can think all we want. Oh, I want to have a better, you know, I want to think differently about food. I want to not feel bad when I go out to, you know, when I go and have ice cream with my family, but every time I do, I still feel bad. I feel like I cheated or something. So you want to feel differently. There has to be something you're distinctively doing to create.
You pretty dog.
So I would love to hear from you guys what your thoughts are. Either do you have questions about set point, whether it's from the physical side or whether it's from the mindset side? Do you understand what I'm asking about? Like, what is it that you're doing to change your set point? And where are you at right now?
Nope, go ahead.
I love this thing about set point because it helped me realize that my weekends were like making or breaking, you know, if I had weight loss goals or physical goals, because you know, it's like I see a little success during the week. Like I'm eating really well, all the things, drinking my water, getting my movement. And so I am like losing some inflammation and all that during the week. So maybe I'll lose a pound. And then the weekend comes and I kind of just blow it off. And then by Monday, it's like I'm starting all over again. And the set point helped me realize and think about my weekends more, because it helped me realize that my body over the weekends, like, thank you, going right back to set point. And so it's helped me stay more consistent and be prepared for my weekends.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a really good point. If you think about the kind of consistency that it requires to see change, throwing 2.5 days in there that are like not so great is usually enough to tell your body, don't worry, no change required. Like you can stay exactly like you are. And it's funny because you're like, well, that's not fair. I did great like Monday through Friday morning. It's just, again, it's a positive thing. It's how our bodies work. We're meant to like preserve and stay the same. We're meant to survive the winter in the wilderness, you know? It's a really good point, Leah. Who else had thoughts? Somebody else started talking at the same time.
That was
Lisa?
me.
All right, Lisa.
Right now I'm doing the mindset for the group calls, and I am in a mental set point. Physically, I reached the goals that I wanted to last year. And so you're right, you do kind of, your body likes to stay pretty close to the same weight. It hasn't fluctuated a lot. I haven't gotten on a scale, but I don't need to know where I'm at. But while I'm in the mindset, I want to work on diet, exercise, and rest, like get my mental sets, because during the spring I'm going to go into the instead of just maintaining, wanting to ramp that up and pick a new goal for my body, like something new that I want to do. But I can't do that if I don't put the habits in place. So that's why I'm in mindset.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I like that you have the confidence that your set point is there and you're not even using the scale right now. You just like I feel good about where I'm at. I created this new set point. I'm still eating the way I practiced eating. I'm still working out, all of that. But yeah, the mindset, the mental set point stuff is harder. It is hard. I mean, I guess it's not harder. They're both hard. You know what inspired the mental set point? She disappeared. Where'd she go? There she is, knitting, Nikki. So Nikki actually inspired me to think of this in both lights, because this week, you know, she put herself out there. I guess it was last week or the week before that she put herself out there for this opportunity to do like a modeling thing for it. Nikki, correct me if I'm wrong, but it is for women who've had breast cancer and had surgery, correct? And they picked, and you put yourself out there to do this, and they picked you, and then your pictures were like stunning. Is that correct? What it was?
Yeah. So basically there's this woman who 10 years ago had breast cancer, and she was a fashion designer before all of that. And she realized afterwards that she just needed some comfortable bras and stuff after her reconstruction. And then she realized there was a need for that. So she started this company, Ana Uno. And so she asked like real people to come and be models for her stuff. So even though it's in mind for people, 'cause you have real sensitive skin after all your breast cancer and stuff, it's really for anyone. You know, if you want a comfortable, soft bra that doesn't have an underwire, check them out. But it was really cool because the one picture that I really like, the baby doll, you know, lingerie piece I put on, when I first put that on, I was like, no way. But then it became my favorite picture because I just saw that picture and I saw what everyone else was seeing. So it really changed the way I look at myself and what I think of my body.
It's really cool. And honestly, Nikki, like you also are bringing to light something that maybe in some ways breaking down some of these mental barriers and creating a new set point is maybe a little easier than the physical one, because it might be harder in the moment, but I promise you're in a new mental set point now from that experience. You are in a different place.
I really am. Like, it's been life-changing, and for once it's been life-changing for me in a good way. So
yeah, you're in a different place, and you got there because you saw that opportunity and you were like, part of you probably felt scared and like, no, I'm not going to do
Mhm.
that. And then you put yourself in an uncomfortable position by even saying I would do that. You
Mhm.
put yourself out there, super vulnerable, uncomfortable, outside your comfort zone. And then this is how it unfolded for you. And so you created this new set point, but it only happened because you were allowed yourself to get uncomfortable.
And it was really uncomfortable. Like I was excited, but then when I showed up at the place yesterday, they were still working with the other model, and she was so free and just working. I was like, oh my God, what am I going to do? I'm not like that. I'm not one of these people that just dance and whatever. But then halfway through the session, I just got into it. And even they were like laughing about, oh, she's got this now and stuff. So it was cool.
So awesome. That's super awesome. Yeah, super inspiring. Anybody else have thoughts or ideas on this topic this week?
So I just wanted a little bit of clarification of, are we thinking about what has changed to get us to where we are, or what still needs to change to get us to where we want to be?
I want to know what your so if you like you and your coach have had a conversation if whether or not you're in a season of like actively trying to pursue weight loss, or if you're not, if you're pursuing some other goal, whatever it is that you're trying to do right now. So if you are trying, do you mind sharing what your goal is right now, Sarah?
So right now my goal is weight loss. Because I got my DEXA scan. And so my goal is to I had 3 pounds of visceral fat. And my goal is to get that down to 1 pound of visceral fat.
So
which is going to be a huge thing.
So you want to actively lose weight right now?
Yes.
Now, if you were to take your body weight the way it is right now, are you pretty much stable? Like if you look back over the past couple of months, are you steadily going down?
I'm not steadily going down. I'm steadily moving. Which is funny because I weighed myself this morning and I was so surprised that I did go down, because I have not been that strict. I've been letting things sneak in. And so it even more sunk in of, if I had been doing it, this would have been a bigger thing. So I'll, kind of like what you were saying, that steadiness of going up a pound or two, going down, going up, going down. It has not been, okay. It has not been going up. But it'll go down, go up, go down.
You're at that set point. That's exactly what I was talking about.
Yeah.
So your body has decided it likes where you are right now.
Yeah.
So even if last year you lost some pounds, right now you're kind of steady. And you're like, am I losing? Am I staying the same? Am I losing? Am I staying the same? Well, you're actually staying the same because that fluctuation is normal. So that was a really good question, because what I want you to clarify is, if you keep doing exactly what you're doing right now, even though you've incorporated obviously a lot of really good habits, I know you're working on all these pieces, but if you keep doing exactly what you're doing, you will stay the same.
Yeah.
So in order for you to see the weight loss that you want and that you're saying is your goal, you have to change something. So the what you're defining this week is, what is it that you're changing?
Okay.
And that way you have super clarity. Like I used to hit 5,000 steps a day. I'm taking that joker to 10. Or I used to have 5 drinks a week and I'm going to bring it down to 2. And it may need to be a combo of the things, but you're thinking about, okay, this is where I was at this set point, and I'm going to have to do something else and do it consistently for the next 6 to 8 to 12 weeks to create change. So what is it that I'm doing that's different? Really good question. Thank you for sharing your goal so we could talk it through. Any other questions, guys? Sweet. Well, I like it. We are doing before we wrap up, we are doing a giveaway this month of a Fitme sweatshirt. and a Fitme water bottle. And all you have to do to get entered in the giveaway is invite 3 people to the Facebook group. So our free Facebook group where we do the plate challenge and we do our movement workout roll call. It's a good place to be for someone who's just like trying to figure out, is it possible to do this, you know, a different way. So if you invite 3 people, then you get entered for the drawing. And if you invite 3 more, you get entered again. So you could literally get entered as a bunch of times. And then if you show up to the live training, which is in a weekend or 2 weeks, it's next Wednesday, you get 5 entries. So just wanted to share that because I know what's going to happen. I'm going to show the hoodie and everybody's gonna be like, oh, I want the hoodie. I'm going to want to buy it. I'm gonna be like, no, you have to win it. It's a drawing. It's a game. Because that's what everybody said about the shirts. Everybody was like, I want shirts. One day I'm going to have Erica help me. Erica, they just crush it on the shirts at CrossFit Merit. And we'll up our shirt game. But I wanted to remind you guys about the giveaway so you can invite your people.
I was going to ask if we could buy the sweatshirt.
Oh, that's what everybody's going to ask. Yes, maybe one day, but this day it's invite your friends. I know. We make a joke inside the coaches and the staff about apparel and how we're not allowed to talk about it on team meetings because we end up going down these like rabbit holes of like a million discussions about what should be on the shirt, what shirt it should be, what color it should be. It is like the recipe for diversion, like and distraction. So, well, sweet guys, will you have a wonderful week? Let me take a quick pic before we get off. Leah, that was a preemptive smile. I had not even got out my phone and you were ready with your knife, smiling, ready for that picture. All right, guys. Oh man, I have to back up. This desktop is a different sit show. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. Awesome, guys. Have a wonderful week. It's good to see your faces and check in with your coach tonight or tomorrow and let them know what you're doing to get uncomfortable. I will talk to you guys later. Bye.
Bye.